Welcome to this edition of All Things Manchester. My name is Tom Topping. I'll be your host. Behind the cameras, I've got Dave from Cox Communications and my friends Rich, the engineering team that puts this all together for us. This afternoon, we're discussing the Women's Business Development Council. It's a statewide nonprofit. I've got two ladies here that know all about it. I'm going to introduce my friend Tammy to start the conversation, and she's a recipient and a member of the board and everything. So if you don't mind, Tammy, let's get started.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, for having us. I'm Tammy Gerhard. I'm one of the owners of Silk City Coffee. We have businesses in downtown Manchester and downtown Willimantic. And we are a recipient of multiple levels of the awards of WBDC. And right now I'm serving on the Regional Advisory Board.
Hi, my name is Consilia. And I'm the Capital Region Program Manager for the Women's Business Development Council.
Can you tell us a little bit about the WBDC, please?
WBDC is like an organization, a nonprofit organization that supports women across the state. We have like 4 different pillars of areas that we assist women-owned businesses in. And our services, most of them, like I would say 90% of our classes, 90-something% of our classes are all free, right? So our goal and our mission is to make sure we help businesses to create sustainable businesses, right? It's one thing to start a business, but it's another to have a sustainable business like Tammy and him co-founders have, right? So we help businesses to make sure they're sustainable and create jobs for like within the state, right? We have a pillar of education. We offer free classes, right? You can take these classes online live. It's all virtual, or you can take the classes, pre-recorded classes, at whatever time you are able to. We also offer business advising. So we have business advisors who are experts in different areas, whether it's you figuring out strategy, how to get access to capital, so many different areas. You can marketing, you can have one-on-one business advising, and it's free to do so. Then we also have funding. We can talk about that later, as well as like networking events to create community with other businesses across the state.
You know, I have a list of questions here that I was all set to ask, but I'm going to start with one that's not on my sheet. I had the opportunity to go through and see just the phenomenal amount of work that you've done since 1997. I think I read, was it $94 million in raised client-raised capital?
Something, yes.
And 42,000 jobs created. This is not a small effort. This is something of a magnitude that I think people should pay attention to. Yes. If I was a woman that owned a business, and I was at the point now where I was ready that I could use the help of an organization like you, how do I get started?
Okay, so you get started starting on our website, but just to say how we were founded is amazing because our friend pastor, I have to give friend pastor a big shout out. She started this organization, and she has grown it into a statewide, very successful statewide organization that has supported so many businesses. And to get started, you can, my details, you can go on the website and book an appointment, right? When you go to our team section on our website, you will see different business advisors. But we can also just, if you don't know where to begin, whether you need business advising or you need to do a class, I would say the best thing is to sign up for our orientation, right? The orientation class, we have them every single month. So if you go to our class listings, you can find that, and the orientation takes you through every single thing from our history, what we offer, how to get hold of us, and every single thing that you need to understand about WBDC. But if you've read our website and you want to get started, you can just like create like a profile online. It's free to do so. That way you can start signing up for things like classes, networking events, and all that stuff. And for immediate like questions, you just email info@ctwbdc.org. It's on our website. That's also another good starting point.
Okay, so the first thing I would do is go to the website and make a profile.
create. Yes.
I don't need to speak to anybody or?
I will. You can just create like sign up for a profile, so then you can book or to book an appointment with our business advisors.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you have locations around the state, or is it people like you that come to me, or a combination?
We do actually have around the state. We used to have 5 different offices, but now we had a fire like last year. But we will be reopening our head office, which is in Stamford. But I'm based in the capital region. This is a large region here. We are in Hartford, downtown, on Trumbull Street.
Okay.
But most of our services, because we serve across different towns across the state, are virtual. So people don't really have to physically come, except for things like networking events, right? They can reach us anywhere. We have an office in Waterbury. We have an office in Hartford. We used to have an office in New London and New Haven, as well as Stamford.
Okay.
But she meets me at the coffee shop, which I love.
Yes.
So they also do come
Okay,
to you
okay.
and meet you and help you. So
Okay. How many women businesses have you helped since '97? I got a number here.
oh, you probably
It's quite a lot, but you know what? Numbers are not my, like...
Okay, I know.
Let's see,
It's
like
Share
out
your
of the
number.
head,
Yeah.
do you want to share the
Share your
number?
number.
It's 17,000 plus businesses
Believe that?
launched or
Wow.
scaled.
Yes,
that.
thank you.
22,700 clients served.
And that number is still growing, right?
That's-
'Cause
that's last year's
is,
numbers,
Yes,
yeah.
so this data is not showing like this year's number, so it's still growing. Every single year, it's like even more people.
Now, every year you do an impact report, the 2025 impact report. Is there anything on that you'd like to talk about tonight?
It's actually on the website, right?
Yeah.
But we have served, for example, I would say like in 2024, where WPTC sometimes helps out in areas people don't know about. When there was a flood, we had a flood grant to support businesses beyond the funding that we already gave them. And I don't know if you know this as well. I can touch on that as we go through the interview, like childcare.
Yes,
We
I was gonna go to that, yep.
Yes. So we do have like so many different ways that we support. Could it be childcare? And in 2024, we had the flood grant. So we helped a lot of businesses, that were affected by the flood.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because childcare businesses are a big, seemed like a whole thing to me.
They are.
Well, there's a great need, and that's why there is. This
There is a
funding.
great need.
Yeah.
There's a very
There
great need.
is, because a lot of parents, especially mothers, have to choose between staying at home with their children, which is like, the biggest and best job, and also being able to maybe financially contribute into their families, even find something they're passionate about to do in addition to the special gift of being a mother. So sometimes it becomes difficult when childcare spaces are not available. There's limited spaces, then there is the supply and demand, it gets expensive. So what we help is we create, we help fund businesses to start more childcare spaces so that it becomes affordable for, many women to be able to have reliable childcare. Then they can get into the workspace or even start a business, right? So you can either start a business or you can even start a childcare and have your kids in the same childcare. You see, people
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that, right? Yes.
I'm going to come back to you in just a minute, but Tammy,
Yes.
your businesses have won a couple of these grants.
Yes.
And I continue to say I'm amazed at this program, okay? I think it's like the best kept secret in the world.
It is. That's why
And
I'm
I want
excited to come
you
on.
to tell us, you've won not one, but two.
We
Well,
have.
go ahead and talk
So,
about that for me.
I think of these Launchpad grants, the classes that you could have gone through from the very start. And a part of me wishes that we even knew this was accessible to us back when we first started, because we didn't. It was in 2020, COVID closed things. We were in the process. We had opened the shop in 2016. We're in our 10th year right now. And in 2020, thank you, we began a roastery. And we were beginning to roast our own beans and kind of get established in that space. And it was about the end of 2020, 2021, like right in there where someone had come to us and had just mentioned, like, hey, did you know that there is a $10,000 grant available in our state to further launch a new branch of your business? Hey, I hear you're doing something new. And we were beginning really the process of looking at e-commerce. How do we not only put the beans that we have in our shops, but we were coming out of COVID. So part of roasting beans for us was continuing our business and getting it out anywhere that was not limited by the space that you were in. And so they mentioned, there's these $10,000 grants. I'm like, where's a $10,000 grant and how do I even access this? And the concept was that the $10,000 grants were coming through WBDC. Now, I started looking into it, and for me at the beginning, it felt very intimidating. Like, okay, there's a lot of work to do to apply for one of these. I don't know much about the program yet. There is, I'm thinking, women's own business, $10,000. Like, tons of people are applying for these grants, and what are the chances that I'll get one of those grants? They probably can only give out a couple. But my favorite part that I learned about WBDC and why I think it's important to talk about it in spaces like this is that's not at all the truth. And so when I made the initial outreach to WBDC, they invited us into a conversation. And in that conversation, they explained the way that the program worked. And I discovered, I'm like, wow, it isn't so intimidating. They mentor you all the way through applying. They help you determine if your business is a good fit for applying at that point, or if maybe you needed to do some additional work and apply later, totally fine. And then they even help you brainstorm, like what would be the best next step for my business to utilize this grant for? Because you can't use it for things like, like to off-pay salaries or continue something you're already doing. It's all about expanding the growth and continuing to create space for new jobs. And so when we actually met with the mentors, they were very helpful in just aiding us in the whole process. And so 3 of us at the time, there were 3 women that were working on this, we wrote this and put this together and got it submitted. And I also learned, as I went through the process, we were just talking about it, unlike the later grant that is very competitive that we just won, this one, really you're competing really just against the parameters in your own business. If your business meets these parameters and you can accomplish the work to put it forward in the grant, I mean, you guys give away like 30 to 50 $10,000 grants twice a year, ongoing. So it's not like, oh, everyone in the state is competing for 5 grants. Like the cohort we were in was like 35, 40 people. And then that was, I think, in, I don't know, like in April or so. It was like in the spring cohort. And then you were doing it again in the fall, by the fall. And I then was like, let me take these flyers and tell everyone I know about WBDC.
I think we all should do that, to be honest with you, because all the numbers we're talking about, these are big numbers.
Yes.
$1 billion in client earned revenue.
When you think about that as a whole, it's huge. I can tell you $10,000 for our business launched us into an e-commerce space we didn't know how we were going to get into, And it encourages you to kind of take those next steps forward to build the jobs that you need. And it makes a huge difference to a small business.
It is. It's amazing. How did it start, if you don't mind me asking, the history of the organization?
Oh, so the organization was started by our founder, friend, Pastor. She started the business in 1997. She started it, I believe, in a kitchen, and she was at the time like a single mother and trying to figure out how can I create a career for myself, what can I do? And she started the Women's Business Development Council, and she has since grown it and become like such a recognizable and influential force in our ecosystem.
She's a pioneer.
Business. She's
really,
a pioneer.
is what she is.
She's a pioneer, and recently named one of the most influential women in Connecticut by Business. Is it Business Magazine?
I remember seeing it online. I thought it was beautiful.
And so the goal was to help women, to become financially independent, create opportunities for themselves, and build. There's a lot of resources that will support men. I also need to clarify that it's not that we turn men away. They can just as much use our resources. They can take the classes, use business advisors, come to our networking events. But because it's so difficult for women sometimes to access capital to the extent that men can, the funding is what is exclusively for women. Or if there is a man, there is a little like loophole, Tom. If a man co-owns a business, the woman has to own 51%
Which
of
is
the
our world.
which is
That is
exactly
how we function.
so the guys just let women have this one thing, right? The guys can own 49% of the business and they can qualify for a grant if they can prove the business. So it doesn't have to be 100% owned by a woman. So to all the brave guys out there, I encourage them as well to use our services. Go to our website, book that session with a business advisor, come to those networking events, take those classes. We have a few guys, maybe 10% of our clients so far are actually guys. But we have expanded from 1997 to when it was just like friends starting the business to now having, I think it's over 40 employees and 5 different offices across the state. We are statewide and supported really by the state a lot. Like the governor loves us.
We need more than half an hour for this. I should have. Well, you got into the men a little bit. I noticed that there's also a veterans and a Latina specialty, or however you want to, that you have special programs for them.
So we have special programs. We support everyone. Basically,
Yep.
we don't exclusively say we're helping only Latinas now. Everybody is welcome,
Yeah.
right? Yes. If you want our services and from Connecticut, we don't have say specifically just minorities. No, everyone is welcome.
Okay. Maybe I misread something. And then let's see, what else did I want to ask about? You had the one-on-one counseling. Is that well? Tell us how that works. I was going to ask
I've
questions, but
utilized that.
Yes, so we have business experts from across different industries, right? And we call them business advisors. Most of them actually own businesses themselves for them to understand, how
Right.
to advise someone. They've either used to run a business or are currently running a business. But you can book these sessions if you go online. So if you go to our website where it says team, you can see the bios of every single one of our,
Wow.
Yes, and then you can see who is a business advisor. When you click on their profile, you can read their bio, what area of expertise, right, they focus on. Do they focus on operations, strategy, access to capital, you name it, right? QuickBooks, right? That's a big one because a lot of people need to understand how to do their books, right? So you can book an appointment then, sign up for an appointment, and it's free. And we don't tell you which business advisor to use. You can choose for yourself who you think is the best fit for what you are looking for. And you can see them multiple times as long as there's availability, right?
Super helpful.
And I'm
Yes.
going to hop around a little bit here because we're starting to run out of time. We'll talk about networking a little bit. I wanted to touch on the Women-Owned Business Day at the state capitol. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yes, that's
thought
one.
so.
That's one of our biggest flagship events, right? That in addition to the gala, so we
because
have that
our-
every year. And to celebrate really our business owners across the state, we invite our community partners, community leaders, and different businesses, and it's free. What I really love about our organization is how we offer these free resources. So sometimes people tend to think, why is it free? What's in it? What's in it for you is we want you to succeed. So when you come, when you're running a business, some people are solopreneurs and they don't really get to have that sense of community. So these events, like the Women's Business Day, we also want to inspire other entrepreneurs to look at entrepreneurs like Tammy, who has won our biggest grant, which is called the Accelerate Grant. That's the one that is very competitive, and she was one of 4 people who got $25,000. So we do a live pitch. at Women's Business Day, a live pitch of these businesses, these established businesses that are making a revenue of over 6 figures to 2 million. They come and they those are the ones that you are competing, right, with the other businesses, and you do a pitch, and there's a live judging panel. Everybody from our CEO, state legislators, so many different people, they are there, to watch this live pitch. We call it the dolphin, tank.
Yeah.
Yes, so, but you get to see these women get 25,000 per business, right? And so
and
then
it
you
funded us opening a second shop, helped
Yeah, no, I remember
opening
when
our
you
second
won it.
shop. Yeah.
And that actually, most of the times when we speak to businesses after that event, they are so charged up. They start believing, even that person that is still pre-venture, that if she can do it, maybe I can do.
Yeah,
And they get a
yeah.
chance to also meet our team face to face. When you're advising online, and then you meet the business advisor you've been talking to and other businesses as well.
Now, we talk a lot about networking and also a lot about virtual everything classes. It sounds to me like you do try to bring all these businesses together, all these women that own these businesses, so they can not only learn more about your program, but also meet each other. And I'm grasping for the right term. Club doesn't quite sound the right thing, but it's an organization of women that educate. Well, how would you describe it? I'm just trying to, ideally I see someone who started in 1997 as one of your mentors now. So is the design that you grow with the program and you stay with it for the entire time that you have your business?
So we do not set obligations on people, but because the services that we offer are so significant in helping, most people naturally just continue as a part of their continuous education. Yeah. So I will describe us as an educational organization, but we give that education, we train you, we give you business advising, we also give you networking, community, think of it as community with other business owners, but we also advocate for you, right?
Yeah.
We do that in the mentorship and business advising, yes.
Yeah. What did you, Tammy, find most, the best part probably winning the awards, the grants.
The conversation, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
What I would say, the word I would use is they have a comprehensive model. And so where I said I wish from the start we even knew this happened is because their very first thing they offer, if someone's just even considering opening a business, is that they offer this opportunity to come in these very, from the start all the way through, what you would need to open your business. And then they want you to succeed. So if you go through that and you do your pitch, you're awarded a $2,500 grant that you can use for anything to launch your business. It's called the Launchpad. It's comprehensive. And then once your business is open and is proving successful growth over 2 years, you can apply and go after those $10,000 grants to expand what you're doing. Then from there, and there's mentoring all the way through. And then from there, once that proves, yes, we can prove profitability from what we've done, you can go through a much more comprehensive process of applying for the Accelerate grants.
Yes.
And that's what we did. That was the pitch. It was a live pitch at one of those twice-a-year competitions that you're doing in front of an entire crowd and a panel of judges, and 4 out of 8, I think, were selected for a $25,000 grant. We're using that for our business, but here it does not end because we were opening a new business, and I was literally like, oh my gosh, I don't even understand how to scale this. So I reached out on the website and found someone to help advise us in that, you know what I mean? And I met online, and they've been able to just help me kind of frame through all of the financials for it. I'm like, okay, I really need to understand this because we're going into a whole new world. Then we have a manufacturing branch. I don't know anything about manufacturing. Oh, they have people who specialize in this. Okay, let's talk with them. Then she was doing a meet and greet, kind of one of their gatherings in Hartford the other day. So I showed up there, connected with some people, and made plans for moving forward in something completely fun and new, just from swinging in there and talking with them. And then they invited me to be on their regional advisory council because we've kind of hit the top of the grants. So now we're walking alongside. How do I help support as they're continuing to pioneer and grow as an organization? So to me, it's comprehensive. There's never a moment in my life as a business owner where I'm not going to have something I do not understand. And I love that I can resource off of multiple people who have the background, and they will willingly, happily give their time to help us grow and succeed.
Yes.
We are definitely starting to run out of time. I wanted to talk about WBE certification. That's just real quick. You help the women-owned businesses get that, and that's good for corporate and government contracts. Could you just explain real quick what that is so that people understand?
So there are some classes that they can take to understand that process better. And we do actually work, with SBA because they also fund us. So SBA does have like the procurement and contracting if you want to work with the state. Like you can go and apply for that. That was like in March of this year. But I just want to emphasize something before we run out of time regarding our grant. Is as Tammy explained, we have the startup grant, but for the startup grant, we require that people take a class. Those are the only paid classes, right? But we also offer 50% scholarship for it. So everything else is free. But why we want people to take this class is because we don't want to give you money and then you don't succeed, right? So this class is called the Business Concept Clinic, and if you are more established in your business, but you need to create a business plan, you can take the GPS class, which is like starting. It's rolling classes throughout sessions throughout the year, but they will give you all the fundamental foundations you will need to create a sustainable business. So we're not just giving you money once, but that's the only requirement for the first grant. But the second one for 10,000, the minimum is that you have made a revenue of 25,000. So that means you now know how to actually sell your product. So you don't need to take the foundational courses.
You want to real quick just give us the website one more time, and then we're going to sign off for the night.
Okay, so it's ctwbtc.org. ctwbtc.org.
All right, ladies, this was an incredible experience. I enjoyed myself immensely. Tammy, would you like to say anything real quick before we go?
Just my big thing is, if you are a woman-owned business, do not be afraid to connect with WBDC or go after these grants. It was super worth it.
Yes, and they can reach out to me, Consilia, anytime. If you you can find me on the website or contact any of our business advisors online. And we look forward to helping you. And there's more events going on, like the Catalyst in September.
And that wraps up this edition of All Things Manchester. Thank you for tuning in.